Okay, so as we move forwards the next day, just taking the front off to hopefully do a better job on this RF gain control. They've changed the resistor across it from 100k to 10k, and of course all the wiring's not really very good. We'll change that piece of insulation tape. Change that to a piece of sleeving, heat shrink, and then we can do a better job of that as well. What I have done is I've reinstated the transmit audio. Just spotted a wire off and tucked away, and a wire in the wrong place, and that's brought back the full operation plus the Roger bleep. So put that sleeving on there. We'll go around with the hot air gun in a moment. Just neaten that up, and then while the front's off we'll do the meter lamp. So that wire needs to go on there, and at the same time we need to put one end of the resistor, which is 100k. Okay, so it's totally disconnected now. Well, that wasn't planned. What we've got is this blob of solder going down to, well, not quite, but potentially touching the body of the control. I'm sure you wouldn't mess about with a set like this if you'd paid 90 quid for it. Perhaps somebody's mummy bought it then. Right, so if we get the two black wires, and that is bent over like that on the other one. Put that through there. You never get a neat job done unless you take the set apart like this. You know, trying to poke the soldering iron through the gap. They're going to end up doing what they did and melting wires. And that doesn't matter, but it doesn't look right, does it? So there we go, that's reinstated, and we'll get the heat gun on that and shrink the heat shrink tubing. So get it powered back up, and we'll see why the meter lamp doesn't work. I'm presuming it's open circuit, and they may have changed the resistor there, so I'll have to just look on the scrap set. If that lamp works, we'll pinch it off this set. And then he's got a factory original lamp. We'll just check for continuity on the lamp. Yes, that still works. Oh well, you can have the factory original one then. How impressive is that? So that then gets rid of this resistor. Just put a bit of fresh solder on there. See where the other end goes. Probably to the volume control, as in on and off switch. No, yes it does. Yes it does. It goes there. So that's the duff lamp. Changed the coil there. It's not off. I don't think we've got any other spares now, because it's the kind of thing that's broken on so many sets that it ends up getting robbed off the scrap chassis. So if I thread that through the gap, there we go, it all nicely clips in. So just pop the white wire, trim the end off that. Check all these screws are tight while we're on this side. Not quite. Important because of the earthing. We'll be going over this with isopropyl alcohol, because the board is mucky, as the customer says. So we've only got one bodgy link there which I've had to put in. That one's not too scary. I managed to get rid of all the others. I think we're there. Right, we'll power it back up. Well, you've got the meter lamp. I think that clips there. That's it. Right. So, test gear's been on about an hour, so we'll see where we are with the frequency. I think we'll start with that. So picture in picture on. select frequency counter. I've already roughly trimmed it before I did the video. I wanted to make sure I was heading in the right direction. You can also remove the other leg of that. I'll just pop it back off again. That capacitor, which was just tagged across. There we go. Back on. Key up. 2779162. There we go, 2779126. So it's 2779218. It was far too high. Right, so we're going to be looking at, of course that was not working, that was not working, that was not working, that's done. We haven't checked PA because we didn't have the operation of the microphone circuit, did we, with all that silliness under there. Anyway, let's have a look at deviation and we'll get that out of our hair first. So on the Marconi test set, let's see what it says. Wallow, it doesn't say anything. Are we on the right channel? Yes we are. Are we not tuned in? Wallow, it says about 4. Well, we'll have a second opinion from the test set behind me. Change his glasses. There we go. Let's see what it says. Wallow. It says about 3.8. Wallow. Right, go back to the Marconi test set. Must say it was about the same with the before figure, so perhaps the Marconi isn't playing up today on deviation, so we'll find out. Wow, it's about where it is, yeah. So it was, we'll say it was 4 kilohertz. It's now 2.2 to 2.5 peak. So that's that done. Good. Well, you know, this is such a pleasing job to do when you can resurrect something which is scrap, isn't it? So the customer said to me, oh, "Look, it's a load of rubbish. Just keep it." I said, no, we'll fix it. I want to put the front back on so I can see which switch does what. So I've got to get the screws out of the pot. Well, I got one out, didn't I? Just got 2 out, that'll do for now. Right. So I want to make sure that the RF gain control is still working. better if I could put this knob back on. Managed it. Try and get these on in the right place. So I'd love to know what they were trying to do with this, because they've got 2.8 watts coming out of it and I've got 3.7. And all I've done is to tune it properly, get rid of the clock mechanism acting as an unnecessary heatsink, change the 3 watt resistor for a 6 watt resistor. Right, power back on. So just make sure the frequency counter is on what we want, 27.79125. Well, I overshot that, didn't I? Oh, I've got it too high. You've got a coarse and a fine on this, and that's it. Now we'll go the other way. So we know we're spot on frequency now. I don't like these delta tune controls which don't have a centre point. It's, you know, it's a bit wishy-washy as to where it sounds the best. So RF gain, yeah. S9 on the clock. It's still S9. Tone control works. Good. Well, I think we just need to get the heat gun on these things. Okay, so a few hours later I'm back with you, and we've cleaned the printed circuit board, and any sign of any work is where I've put that link. I did notice one of these decoupling capacitors wants a bit of solder on it. There was a bit of a potential snag there. So we'll get this put back together. We didn't test PA. Always be very careful how you screw these in. There we go. power back on. Test equipment to extension speaker. A speaker on the wall to PA speaker. Plug our mic in. Quick chest of transmit. Yeah. Right, public address. How does that work? Oh, you press the switch which says PA. Testing 1, 2. That's doing absolutely nothing. I'm just going to take the power off from the power supply, just in case this switch is playing up. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. No, we're not getting anything on public address. I'll have a look at that. That was easy enough. It's dirty contact on the public address socket.
Testing 1, 2, testing 1, 2.
So that's back to normal. Right, well, I'll get this put back together and we'll plug it into the aerial and see if we can hear any of them in Nottingham. Right. Good. I'll just go through that in a moment. Do you remember I did this Amstrad, which is a genuine made in Japan Cybernet Amstrad, not one of the fake ones which are rubbish. Do you remember this one with the case missing? Well, you know, we ended up and it worked very well. Well, one of the viewers is local, he only lives 10 miles away, and he's brought in a scrap Amstrad case half, and it's lost the covering down the sides. That doesn't matter, we can put some paint on there, but that's really useful because obviously we can put that on and make it look a lot better than it does. So thank you to that person. And then the person who sent us this has just sent us a factory original microphone for one of these. So that's the type. When after the Action Man mic was such a failure, they were replaced with these, and you'll find that this is the standard mic on a lot of the Cybernet built 002F chassis sets. You'll find this was on the Harvard base station. I'll note the teeny weeny screws missing. We've got some made for spectacles. So we're going to try that. I'll put that on one side and we'll just try this mic on this radio. I'll just take it off channel 19. Of course, it's the right mic for this radio. It means when we do the on the air test, if we can get this mic to work, or if it does work, we can use do a comparison with the factory original mic. So let's see what happens. Well, certainly the receive's going through, so I'll switch my talkie-walkie on.
Testing 1, 2, testing 1, 2.
That works. And we're kind of, I know you can't hear properly with it like this, but let's track with our factory original. Sorry, our replacement.
Testing 1, 2.
Yeah, they are different. So that's good. So we're going to do that comparison test at the end of the on the air test, which hopefully will be today. So there you have it. We haven't flicked through the channels, have we? One Anna Roger. There we go. Cybernet 002F chassis in the Mustang CB3000 guys. Back in the land of the living from a load of scrap rubbish. Thank you for watching.